Hello there, thanks for joining us here on New Vision TV. This is the Handshake. I am Lynn Komjisha. With me is Paul Busharizi. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we are seeing that a lot is going on in the country, in the business area, and of course, oil. And like you know, the New Vision always has the Oil and Gas Journal every Tuesday. So today we are looking at how to get your goods certified for the oil sector. Paul, what do they mean by this?
Well, for various reasons, the oil sector is going to need, it won't just be able to, it won't just take any kind of goods.
Okay.
So let's just take, for example, food even.
Right.
Food. It has to be to a certain level, to a certain quality, certain standard of health and stuff. You've cleaned it properly and all that kind of business.
Paul, I just go and buy my food and bring food and
For
sell.
you, you're immune to all the germs running around. Some of them will be, you know, foreign workers. They don't have as hard tummies as yours.
Ah,
Yeah,
so you have to certify my food.
Well, I was using food as an example,
Okay.
but yes, the processes that you make your food, so it won't just be anyone supplying to the camps. You need to be a certain kind of person and have met certain standards because, I mean, just for one reason, let's say, just as an example, insurance issues. So you find all these workers will be insured.
Yes.
You know,
But
maybe
they have to certify the companies.
insurance wants that it wants to pay out as little money as possible in health costs. So it sets certain standards on the employers and the companies dealing with these things to maintain certain health standards.
Wow.
To minimize the incidence of illness or things.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, still in the oil and gas, the government should back the Uganda National Oil Company in harnessing oil sector opportunities. What is that?
Well, you know that the Uganda National Oil Company is eventually or should eventually be involved in exploration and you know, evacuating oil themselves.
Yes,
right now they just have equity holdings in the current companies. So as they develop capacity,
right.
So I think that story was asking government to help them develop that capacity to move to higher levels of you know, involvement in the oil industry.
Okay, maybe one more interesting thing is that Mauritius shares tips on improving business. I thought we were doing well.
No, that's a story about, I think there was a Mauritian team around.
Right.
Mauritius are very good, rank very highly on the continent in ease of doing business, the measure of ease of doing business. So they were trying to help us see how we can fix up our things. So for example, in Mauritius, I think it takes about 5 days to register business. Oh. But in Uganda, it takes 24 days. So
wait, I thought it had reduced to about 2 days.
No way. It takes 24 days, given the measures starting a business. And by that is, I think, maybe an average. Some people, of course, it can take longer to start a business.
What?
So the Mauritians are trying to show you how you can reduce the bureaucracy around this process of starting a business.
Well, talking about business, we have a new bridge that is going to be commissioned very soon. I think actually today, yeah, Wednesday, yes. The president is going to commission this bridge. It is the new Ginger Bridge. It has been referred to as the second Nile Bridge or the new Nile. It's a long story. Anyway, it replaces the Naluvale bridge built in 1954, and it was fully financed with a 391 billion loan from the government of Japan. Paul, it is very beautiful, by the way.
Yeah,
very beautiful. But has our money? Well, it's not our money entirely, but has it been put to good use?
It's our money.
Okay,
it's a loan from the Japanese government. We're going to pay. We're going to repay them the loan.
Okay. Has it been put to good use?
No, I think so. I think, I mean, of course, I'm not a technical person, but the Japanese themselves or a Japanese company is the one that did the construction. So we would like to expect that they've done it to the highest possible standards. I mean, it's... the design is amazing. Suspension bridge, I think they call it.
Yeah. Cable something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But yeah, I think it's money well spent. It's going to be a, do they call it dual carriageway, but 2 lanes on both sides.
Ah.
So I think it's a good bridge.
Well, I was reading through, of course, critiques here and there. They're saying it's one of the most expensive bridge of its length in Africa.
Well, again, I'm not a technical guy, but I know, I think we did a story on it a few months ago, or when they were starting the construction, and the challenges of building in the river.
Oh, yes.
You have to, at some point, I think, at either side of the either bank of the river, you have to dig deep to get solid rock or create a solid rock. It's a engineering thing, and all that suspension doesn't cost little money.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to think as if some of the critics of these things think that all bridges are the same. A bridge over the Northern Bypass obviously is much cheaper. It's a shorter bridge to begin with, not even a kilometer long. This one is how many kilometers across the river? So yeah, people should just relax.
So what happens to the old one?
Well, the old one, I read the minister saying that it's going to be restricted to motorbikes and bodabodas and maybe pedestrian traffic. You know that bridge is supposed to have had a lifespan of about 50 years. So supposed to have been decommissioned in about 2004-05. We're now 60 years into the lifespan of that bridge. So it's long overdue to be relaxed. But the beauty, I mean, if you talk about the benefits of it, is, as I said earlier, you have 2 lanes on either side.
Yes.
That means traffic will be moving faster. On the other old bridge, you'd have to reduce your speed to 20 kilometers. Apart from security, it was just that we don't want to create too much vibration on the bridge by driving fast cars. So you're going to have, that will speed up. It will be amazing how much just that improvement in traffic on that bridge will speed up the process. We have about more than $5 billion that go on that road, go over that bridge every year.
Can you imagine?
In imports and exports. So hopefully this will speed up those processes.
So talking of the double carriage, and what's the capacity, the tonnage, and how much does it carry? Would you know that?
I don't know, but it must carry a ton. They did a test the other week, a few weeks ago, and I saw several dozen of trucks filled with maram on the thing, and the bridge is still there. So they've done the tests, and I think it can carry its weight.
Okay, so what could be the possible add-ons?
No, obviously, as I said earlier, you're going to have a quicker, you'll be amazed how that just quickens the traffic on the road, on that whole, along the whole length of the, even, maybe even Kampala to Busia, Malaba, just by the fact that it's quicker along that bridge. That's one thing. Who knows what other benefits can accrue, like tourism and stuff like that. You wouldn't be too sad to build a hotel or a hospitality area across from the bridge, and the bridge is part of the view. It's
very magnificent.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's one of those beautiful things we have in the country so far.
If we had marketing guys, we'd make it one of the wonders of Uganda. A bit slow in those things, but
you talked about the lifespan of the old one. What's the lifespan of this one?
I think I read somewhere 120 years or something. So your grandchildren will probably probably see it as well.
Then what happens? It is also decommissioned.
Yeah, of course, you decommission, you build another one, or whatever the case, or you reinforce it. I don't know. The technology maybe in 120 years will be such that you can reinforce it. It keeps on going. Maybe we won't need bridges that time. We'll be flying only.
I think so.
Absolutely. Or whatever. Or we'll have cars which can become boats.
Okay. And are there other places, for example, that might need this kind of bridges in the country?
I think there's a plan to have a bridge also near the Karuma Dam.
Why don't we just use ferries?
Well, ferries are slower. It takes a longer time to go by water than by land, in a car. So yeah. So I think I've had this, and I think the Japanese also want to do that one as well. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, along the length of the River Nile, I'm sure you could have several places, depending on the economic thing, and especially if South Sudan comes back, it becomes more peaceful. It will be a big market for Uganda. So we need to get across the River Nile, hopefully, at several points, so that it make things quicker.
Well, I can't. I've not been to Ginger in about
since Nyege Nyege.
I don't even know how Nyege Nyege looks like.
It's okay. We won't judge you if you've been Nyege
Paul,
Nyege
no,
aficionado.
I've not been to Ginger in about 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're doing badly.
I know. When were you last there?
I'd have to think about it.
Look at this one.
No, I was there. I was there in May.
Anyway, I hope this is going to ease the movement of a lot of things.
Absolutely, it will.
Yes,
things.
Really, well, you talked about business on easing, movement of goods and stuff. And what does that mean for Ginger now?
No, I don't know what I'd say. Thankfully, but the bridge doesn't divert traffic away from Ginger Town. So you still get through Ginger Town. So Ginger Town still will remain alive.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much, Paul.
You're welcome.